What is it, December 5th? Should be, right? Let me get some settings figured out here really quickly. But I hope everybody's been having a great day. It's a Monday, one of my favoriteest days of the week. This guy says, good evening. How's the weather where you're at? Snowing like crazy where I'm at. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, weather is not snowing like crazy where I'm at. It's cold, but we get ups and downs. Like last week we were walking around with t-shirts on. This week I could not get the chill out of my body today. Like I just had to take a hot shower earlier and just get that chill out. Bone says, I hate Mondays. Aw, why? Mondays are my favorite day of the week. To be honest, I know. What kind of weirdo am I? What kind of weirdo am I? All right. Let me go ahead and put some paint down here. Just thought I would do a fun winter scene since I myself am not really getting winter where I live. And I thought I would do another story time. Sorry that my camera goes in and out with its focus. I'm trying to work with that. I need to find out where the internal settings are. I was teaching my classes today. I teach online. I teach on outschool.com. Teach kids how to paint. And like, I just had to keep going back and forth so it could be in focus. But hey, you know, you do with what you have, right? But yeah, I love Mondays. Mondays are my favorite day because weekends are pretty busy for me. And I love the beauty of Monday, that it's fresh. Kind of like paraphrasing what Anne of Green Gables said, that Monday is fresh, it's new, with no mistakes in it. There's so many opportunities available to you in the beginning of the week. And I love that. I love that. Trying to get some darkness in our sky here. Let's see if I can't rotate a little with your help. Let's see. It still kind of blinks. I was trying to fix the coloring, but hey. Have a picture on my phone of a sunset. It's one I would like to see you paint. Yeah, you know, sunsets, skies, they're super fun to paint. Because you can't mess them up. There's no wrong way to paint a sky. Got some black in here, waiting for it to dry. That looks pretty good. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. Something that makes it difficult where I live in the southern region of the United States, and yeah, the weather isn't like normal, if you will, traditional, typical Christmassy holiday weather, right? It bounces up and down, it fluctuates. And I find that sometimes my Christmas spirit is dependent on the weather. And I try not to let that bother me. Having lived here for 10 years, I try to find creative ways to find out what is it that makes my creative spirits flow, right? What is it that makes me feel Christmassy, you know? Is it the music? Is it the cookies, baking? And I do find that baking really helps, but my favorite thing that really gets me into the holiday spirit is Christmas wrapping. I love to wrap presents. It's my absolute favorite thing. A lot of people don't seem to like Christmas, like wrapping presents. I don't know why. Like, do you guys enjoy wrapping presents? I like to wrap presents. And I am by no means a professional at wrapping presents, but I do try to wrap them as fancily as I can. And also, so one of the easiest ways, I'm going to try to do some fancy stuff right here, right now. One of the easiest ways to make your presents look fancy. Let's see. Make your presents look extravagant is, of course, your paper choices, but ribbon. Honestly, if you get wide ribbon with the wire in it, if your bows look heinous, you can just rearrange them and it makes it look so much prettier. Let's see if this works. It doesn't work every time. Okay, trying to make the northern lights here. Oh, of course it would go out of focus when I do that. Let's try that again, shall we? It seemed to go rather well the first time. Kind of got to work quickly here. Smoothly, quickly. It's just such a super fun technique ever since I learned how to do that. It's so fun. And just put some... Can be a little tricky. Ain't gonna lie. And you don't want to do too much. Takes away the beauty. I try every year, again, something else that gets me in the Christmas spirit is baking cookies. And I try every year to bake cookies that I have never made before. I have this fancy cookbook, okay? Baking book. I think it's called the Cookie Bible. And I just try every year. I go through the recipes and I try to find one that I've never made before and just Give it a try. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I make it work, right? It's not really the recipe. I kind of jerry-rig the recipe and it just works. And so far I haven't had too many complaints. It is a trial and error kind of thing, but you know, you can only do what you can do. And it's definitely a learning curve. I love it. My favorite cookies to make are Jammy Dodgers, and they're little wonderful sugar cookies, but they're more than just sugar cookies. They're much more extravagant, I think, than regular sugar cookies. They're only this big. They're like tea cookies, right? And you make 2 sets, one for top, one for bottom, and you cut out the center. I typically use stars, and you make homemade icing, and you layer it inside like an Oreo, and then you put your favorite jam or jelly on the top, and then layer it with the cookie. Oh, I wish I could make some and give them to everybody to try. I love making cookies for people and giving them to people. So good. I make them every year. Hello, Drunk 3PO says, I want to hear a story. I'll get there. I'm waiting for the right moment. I'm getting there. Bone says, I make cookies in the air fryer. I've never done that. I've never done that before. Brother Rudluck, I tried baking cookies yesterday. Ended up with really sweet biscuits. Still good? See, that wasn't what you're going for. It still turns out good, right? It's Discount Superhero. Have no fear. He is here. I want a cookie. I really would share cookies with you guys if I could. This guy says, I eat most things in front of me, even if I don't like it. Someone worked hard to cook that food, so I respect their hard work. Yes, this is just good manners. This is just good manners. When I go to people's houses, when I spend the night with my friends, like I hang out go spend a weekend or something like that with them. They got to take care of their families and all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to make them make a separate meal for me. And my mom raised me to be polite, so I am. Now, depending on the level of friendship and how long we've been, enjoying each other's company, they asked me a question after a while. I was with my best friend a year or 2 ago, and she made this meal. And I don't really like peppers. I only like jalapeno peppers. And she made some kind of casserole with it. And I ate it. Right? I ate it. It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. I don't like casseroles. I don't like peppers. But this was good. And it was like a year later. I can't remember how the conversation came up. But she's like, I said something about I don't like peppers. And she's like, wait, you don't like peppers? I was like, no, not really. She's like, girl, why didn't you tell me? I've been feeding you these foods. I'm like, I wasn't going to be rude. And she's like, I need you to tell me if you don't like it so I don't feed it to you. I'm like, okay, I'll work on that. I don't really have any food allergies. So, again, I'm just grateful to have food. A lot of people don't. And, but of course they want to be hospitable, and I would want somebody to tell me, so I try to extend to them the same courtesy, but it's hard. Okay. So we've got some snow going on over here. A little dusting. It's a windy day. And of course, gotta say it, but if you're looking for ways to support the channel, you can do so in the description box down below. And a couple of people that have asked me about an Amazon wish list. They wanted to send me markers. Wow. If you really want to, that is in the link down below as well, or in the description box. You can check it out. Only if you really feel like you want to. I don't expect anything, but hey, I could always use markers. I tell you what, you get more into art and creativity, and you use a lot of supplies, and then you realize, especially if you want to get really detailed, you realize you become a little more particular, and you need a wide variety. Of course, you don't need expensive equipment. I always try to tell people you don't need expensive equipment and supplies to create fantastic art pieces. When it comes to acrylic paint, I tend to use Apple Barrel or Craftsmart. So if you're looking to get started into painting, by all means, use Apple Barrel, use Craftsmart, Americana. It's very cheap. Beautiful, wide variety of colors. You can get matte finish, you can get gloss. Fantastic stuff. It's more about learning how to use your supplies, how to be in touch with the equipment. You'll notice mine falls apart. That happens when you use it a lot, but it still works. It's still good, right? Just because it's a little bit broken doesn't mean it can't work. And there's a message in there. But I did say I would provide you guys with a story, if you like. Kind of waiting for some of this to dry. And I'm also trying to think of how I'm going to make these Christmas trees. I have something in mind, and I've watched other people make these trees. And I'm going to try to layer them in a certain way, and hopefully that comes to pass. But let me get my story out here. And thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Just thought I would go live this evening and just try it. Let me see if I can find the kind of right music to set the mood. I found some new Christmas songs. Let's see if that will work. Don't want it too loud, of course, but when I was growing up, there was a story about the three trees. Have you ever heard the story of the three trees? And so the story goes that once upon a time, of course, as all good stories start out, that upon a mountaintop, three little trees stood, and they dreamed of what they wanted to be when they grew up. And isn't that a fun thought to think about? Trees wondering what they will be when they grow up? The first little tree looked up at the stars and said, I want to hold treasure. I want to be covered with gold and filled with precious stones. I'll be the most beautiful treasure chest in the whole entire world. The second little tree looked out at the small stream trickling by on its way to the ocean and said, I want to be traveling mighty waters and carrying powerful kings across the seas. I'll be the strongest ship in the entire world. The third little tree looked down into the valley below, where busy men and women worked in their busy town. And it said, I don't want to leave the mountaintop at all. I want to grow up so tall that when people stop to look at me, they'll raise their eyes to heaven and think of God. I'll be the tallest tree in the world. Years passed. The rain came, the sun shone down, and all three of those little trees grew. One day, 3 woodcutters climbed the mountain, looking for beautiful, wonderful trees. The first woodcutter looked at the first tree and said, "This tree is beautiful. It's perfect for me." With a swoop of his axe, the first tree fell. "Now I shall be made into a beautiful chest. I shall hold wonderful treasure," the first tree said. The second woodcutter looked at the second tree and said, "This tree is strong. It's perfect for me." With a swoop of his shining axe, the second tree fell. "Now I shall sail mighty waters," thought the tree. "I shall be strong ships. Shall be a strong ship for mighty kings." The third tree felt her heart sink a little when the last woodcutter looked her way. She stood straight and tall and pointed bravely to the sky. But the woodcutter never even looked up. "Any kind of tree will do for me," he said. With a swoop of his shining axe, the third tree fell. And then the first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought her to the carpenter's house. But the carpenter fashioned the tree into a feed box for animals. The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold, nor with treasure. She was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for hungry farm animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took her to the shipyard. But no mighty sailing ship was made that day. Instead, the once strong tree was hammered and sawed into a simple fishing boat. She was too small and too weak to sail in the ocean or even on the river. Instead, she was taken to a little lake. The third tree was confused when the woodcutter cut her into strong beams and left her in a lumber yard. What happened? The once tall tree wondered. All I ever wanted was to stay on the mountaintop and point to God. Many, 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 many nights and days passed. The 3 trees nearly forgot their dreams. The dreams about being a beautiful treasure box, the dream about sailing the mighty oceans, carrying kings, or standing tall and brave and beautiful on a mountaintop, pointing anybody that looked their way to God. But one night, golden starlight poured over the first tree as a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box. "I wish I could make a cradle for him," her husband whispered. The mother squeezed his hand and smiled as the starlight shone in the smooth and sturdy wood. "This manger is beautiful," she said. And suddenly, the first tree knew he was holding the greatest treasure in the world. One evening, a tired traveler and his friends crowded into an old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep as the second tree quietly sailed out onto the lake. Soon a thundering and a crashing storm arose. The little tree shuddered. She knew she did not have the strength to carry so many passengers safely through the wind and the rain. The tired man awakened. He stood up and stretched out his hand and said, "Peace." The storm stopped as quickly as it begun. And suddenly the second tree knew he was carrying the King of heaven and earth. One Friday morning, the third tree was startled when her beams were yanked from the forgotten woodpile. She flinched as she was carried through an angry, jeering crowd. She shuddered when soldiers nailed a man's hands to her. She felt ugly and harsh and cruel. But on Sunday morning, when the sun rose and the earth trembled with joy beneath her, the third tree knew that God's love had changed everything. It had made the third tree very strong. And every time people thought of that third tree, they would think of God. And that was better than being the tallest tree in the whole world. The next time you feel down because you didn't get what you wanted, sit tight and be happy because God is thinking of something better to give to you. The end. I hope you enjoyed that little story. I heard it when I was a child. And just a nice little message in there. Not exactly a Christmas story, not exactly an Easter story, but a very powerful story. What did I miss while I was speaking? I can barely draw a stick figure. I draw X's and O's. Hello, Tabitha. No, that's a card I would like to receive for Christmas. Oh, that's sweet. I don't know if you're still saying that after I've put all this color on the trees, but hey, George Lucas, I see you. I see you looking at me, looking at you. Hey, it's Maria. Nice storytelling, Tabitha, and beautiful painting. Thank you, Maria. The story. Has anybody else ever heard the story of the three trees? Or am I the only one? And you know, they say that there's that saying around Christmas time that Jesus is the reason for the season. And in a way, he kind of is. I know you're probably like, he kind of is. Oh, excuse you. But, hang on, hear me out. But the reason that Jesus had to come here was for you and me. And so, the beautiful, wonderful reason that Jesus came to earth is for you and me. And so really, the reason for the season is you and me. It's a season of love. And you know, we could get into the nitpicky arguments about how Christmas started as a pagan holiday and the church took it and converted it. Maybe all that's true, but the essence of it, the story of Christmas, never started with man. It started with God. And, you know, you might have, if you've grown up in church, you've heard of cliches like I celebrate Jesus' birth every day, or I celebrate Jesus' resurrection every day. And we should, if Jesus lives inside. But, you know, it's nice to take a day, you know, kind of like a birthday. You know, if you have kids, if you have your mom with you, if you have aunts and uncles or a favorite sibling, you love them every day. It is kind of nice to take a day to just really celebrate them and be happy that they're a part of your life. And, you know, I can agree with a lot of other people. Charlie Brown's Christmas. Christmas has gotten way too commercial. And that's why we're missing the true meaning of Christmas, the spirit of Christmas. It is about giving of ourselves. Making other people happy. And of course, it is really nice when we receive. Of course it is. But blessed are those who give. More blessed to give than to receive, because in the way, it's one of these things about the Bible and God's word. It's kind of the upside down, inside out mentality. It's like, God just kind of makes it like, well, he makes everything kind of reversed, you know? That in some ways, like, and it's all about dying to self and selfishness. But if you give of yourself and your time, it makes you feel better rather than focusing on yourself. When you focus on other people, it makes you happier. Christmas is just different for many people. It is. Whether you're alone, whether you're married, whether you're celebrating with family, whether you don't observe Christmas in the traditional way in America, maybe a different way. That's why Christmas isn't, just like the Grinch says, maybe Christmas doesn't come from the store. Maybe Christmas means a little bit more. It's not, you know? Not sure I know anyone who celebrates it like in the movies. Maybe Die Hard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my family, in the last couple of years, we've really made the attempt to spend quality time with each other around Christmas. And, but I still would not say it's like a Hallmark movie for sure. But everybody's Christmas every year. Everybody's Christmas is just different, you know? Some people get to have that Home Alone Christmas. You wake up and there's dozens of presents around the Christmas tree. And some people have stockings that are full. Some people don't. And that's why, again, it's true meaning of Christmas. It would be a beautiful thing to see. One thing that thrills me about the church that I go to is that we make a really big effort to try to take care of the people that, or at least make the people feel special in the nursing homes that are located near our church. And not just at Christmas time, but we collect blankets from the stores. We collect blankets and we put homemade cards and some candies and wrap them around the blankies and try to make those people feel special and feel wanted and loved. And we send them cards for Thanksgiving. And for Valentine's Day, just trying to look out for other people that might not have what we have. Oh wait, you have never seen Die Hard. I haven't. Okay. Sentiment, all that kind of stuff, all that aside now. Let's go into the movies. Why, without spoiling the movie, although I kind of know some of it, I mean, I've been alive for a couple of years, right? Why is Die Hard considered a Christmas movie? Is it just because it takes place, I guess, around Christmas time? Why do people classify Die Hard as a Christmas movie? Like, for me, if it's a Christmas movie, it makes me feel Christmassy. Like, yeah, it's gonna have the hot cocoa and the stockings hung around the fireplace and families coming together and food. Hey, Miss Martin, I'm sorry I didn't see you there. I'm just really curious. I hear a lot of people say Die Hard is their favorite Christmas movie. And I'm like, why? Like, genuinely want to know. What makes it a Christmas movie? Is there some magical feel-good ending that nobody talks about? I gots to know. I'm trying to layer the paint here to make it a little thicker at the base, but so in true Tabitha fashion, my favorite Christmas movie is not the first movie of a franchise, but actually the second. It's just being different. Home Alone 2 is my favorite Christmas movie, and I just prefer the second one over the first one. I do like the first one, but Big Teddy and Die Hard, says Anonymous, is Christmas. Aw. What? What? I am not happy with this star. We're gonna do something with this here. Let's see. We need to darken this a little bit. Do you guys have favorite Christmas? I would assume if you celebrate Christmas, you've got a favorite Christmas movie. What is it? I like hearing about Christmas movies I've never heard. Now, okay, also a confession here. I have never actually seen Miracle on, is it 43rd Street, 34th Street? I know it's a classic. I've never seen it. Am I a bad person? Is this like one of those must-watch videos? Yeah, that's a little better. A little better. And I think they remade it, like a lot of movies. Or I heard that, I know it's black and white. I think that they colored it. And people said don't do that, which I tend to agree. Unless you've grown up with a movie in color, if it's been black and white, don't change that. Leave it alone. I need to water my Christmas wreath now that I'm thinking about it too. I made my own Christmas wreath this year. For my mom's birthday, my brother and sister-in-law and I, we went out and got her a Christmas tree. She wanted a Christmas tree after Thanksgiving. And I collected the clippings from the base. Let's see, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I collected the clippings from the base. And I like to make my own Christmas wreaths. I like a more rustic Christmas myself. I don't mind the sparkles and the colors and stuff like that, but I like a very simple, woodsy Christmas. Speaking of sparkles, try to put some sparkles on here. I don't know if they'll translate well. I don't know if they'll translate well on this, but we'll give it a try. I think I'd have to really like slather them on there, which I don't think I want to do that, but we'll give it a shot. Too much glitter takes away from the painting. I always tell the kids when I teach them, like, glitter it takes away from your painting. It's meant to be an embellishment, not the focal point of your painting. You know, you don't want people to look at your picture and say, wow, that's a lot of glitter. They want to look at your painting and say, oh, that's so beautiful. I love how you did this. And the glitter just adds a little something, something. But that's just me. Of course, if you like glitter, do it. Will I like it? No. But that doesn't mean anything. So I think I covered this on Inside the Booth, says Anonymous. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Although not a Christmas movie, I still think it translates well to a Christmas movie. Okay. All right. Maybe I missed that. What about it? What about it makes it a Christmas movie for you? I've never seen this film either. Am I a horrible person? I haven't watched all of these movies. It's terrible. Let's switch this music. I'm trying to get better about like transitioning it, but I can't seem to catch it in time. That's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Planes, Train. I remember somebody in college talked about that movie, but I don't recall why exactly. But is that with Leslie Nielsen? I could be wrong. Maybe I'm getting it confused with another movie. So last year, I think it was last year, I did a painting series in one video called Painting Around the World. And I really enjoyed that. And I basically did Christmas around the world, like painting Christmas around the world. I did Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. I did Cairo, Egypt. I did London, England. And I may have done one more, but I don't recall at the moment. I should have linked it down below. That was super fun to do. And so I didn't make it like cheesy, right? Like I didn't put garlands in the palm trees or snow in the desert or anything like that. I just put the star of Bethlehem, as people call it at Christmas time. And I put a lot of effort into that geographically. So not only, did I put the star in the sky, obviously, but I did my best using Google Maps to try to find the direction of each building, or monument rather, to figure out which way was facing towards Israel, or at least in the direction of Israel, trying to find where Bethlehem was, and to paint each building and each monument. And so that was super fun. It was kind of challenging, but it was super fun. I wonder, let me go see if I can quickly find that video. I believe it was last year, and I just decided to challenge myself even more. Trying something really different. Here we go. And I don't know exactly what made me decide to pick, here we go. Paint these particular monuments. Big Ben was super fun. The pyramids gave me a little bit of an issue. As simplistic as they are, it did give me a little bit of an issue there. But I can't remember. But Rio was super fun too. So I painted the mountain that the statue of Jesus is on the top, and looking up, so you could see the tiny little statue. And like I said, that I did Big Ben, and just something fun to try, something different. Let's see. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of paint a little winter scene this evening. Come and hang out. I know that it's been a little while since I've done a live stream. I'm going to try to go live again this week. I know we haven't done a character crossover painting in a while. I'm trying to think of one, guys. Kind of an easy one. I'd love if you give me some ideas, like throw them out. I might set up something in the community chat panel and ask you for some more ideas. Last time was great when I decided to do Winnie the Pooh, and I asked you guys for some really great ideas, and you gave me fantastic ideas. By the way, that Winnie the Bat Pooh painting that we did is still available if you're interested. I know somebody was, and I haven't seen them in a while. If you want it, you can still have it. Just message me, just email me. But my Indiana Jones Stargate crossover painting, I believe, is it still on my Etsy page? I need to look, because it was going to be only for a limited time, and I have had several people purchase it already, but it will be coming off of the page if I haven't already taken it down. Got some new things in the Etsy shop as well if you're looking to support small business. Yeah, the Indiana Jones, I'm leaving it up there for the rest of the week, and then it's going to disappear. But going to do some character crossovers. I've got a really awesome character crossover painting in the works for a particular movie that is coming out next year. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a wonderful oil painting. And I was actually going to get started with it last year, and I'm so glad that I decided to wait, because I think it'll be just perfect to kind of feature it around the time that movie comes out. Looking very much forward to that. And yeah, I've got my gingerbread creation coming out here soon. Video for that, trying to get that out before Christmas time. If you are on my Patreon list, you get access to first looks, and I also have started vlogging, doing behind the scenes of my creations, and so you get some really cool and fun benefits over there. If you're interested in that, you of course can check that out in the description box down below. But I'm looking forward to providing some stuff for you guys here. I've got another color challenge coming. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it just for you guys. Using only the color green. I did the purple one, and I painted Madam Mim. Madam Mim. And using only the color green, maybe you can kind of figure out who it is that who I'm gonna do. Anonymous says, you know, you have to do Dan as some sort of crossover. So Dan and I also, from inside the booth where I do movie reviews, Dan has actually done some artwork, and he sent it to me, and I have colored it for him. And there's a little story. He has done his own crossover. I believe it's 1, 2, 3 different franchise crossovers. Turned out fantastic. And then I really enjoyed coloring it. And we're hopefully going to get that to you some point. I was going to have him narrate the story, or at least give it to me. He told me the story behind it. I thought it was fantastic. So hopefully I'll get that to you guys soon, maybe in the new year, because we's all busy around the holidays. So yeah, But again, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I try to post shorts on the regular. And then I also have my live streams. And then I have some travel videos where I do artwork on the road. I've got another one coming up here soon. And I've also got, if you've seen some of my shorts, you've seen some of my Harry Potter chibis that I've been doing. And I'm working on Ron right now because I have already done, let's see if that looks, if you can see that. I've already done Hermione and I have done Harry Potter, and I'm going to be working on getting those in the Etsy shop for prints here soon. I'll go ahead and give you guys a glimpse. This is just a rough sketch of Ron. Some things will change, but he's so cute. I feel so sorry for him. Just a rough go around. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for engaging me in the chat. What do you think of my Christmas trees? What did you think of the story? Did you like it? Do you guys like story time from time to time, every now and then? I could look up for some more. If you really love storytelling, you should check out Unlocking Lore, Maria's channel. She does a phenomenal job finding the most amazing stories. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day and a wonderful Christmas season. Remember the real meaning of Christmas. It's not about the presents, not about the tags, not even about the cookies. It's about you and me, about what Christ did for us, and it's about helping others. So, but enjoy those cookies. Enjoy those presents. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, whatever you do for Christmas, make it jolly. But I'll catch you next time, all right?